All right, folks. Presumably, we're working here. This is the first time I've ever done this. This is a live stream. I've just gotten high-speed internet where I can actually come in here and do some live streaming. I used to answer comments once a week on the YouTube channel, but I'd have to record it and then upload it. And I'm going to try to get back doing that once a week and doing it actually live on camera if this works. If not, I do have my regular camera and my regular good mic set up as a backup so I can upload this later if the live stream isn't working. So I'm going to try to answer some of y'all's comments here. We're going to do this a little bit different than I used to previously. Whenever I would do these, my comment monitor would have like every comment, or not every comment, but a lot of comments, like 30, 40 comments. I try to get through as many as possible, but I just don't have time for that anymore. So I told my comment monitor to pull 10 comments from recent videos. And some of these I may have seen before because I've been kind of popping in every now and then and checking the comments and liking them and responding to them personally, which I'm probably not going to be able to do that anymore. There's been times where I haven't been able to do that. That time has now come. Again, I'm not going to be able to do that anymore. So I may have seen some of these, or they may be all blind. I don't know, but let's get to it here. Up first, this is on my original song, Ballad of a Madman 2024 mix that I released on YouTube a few weeks ago. And this is from Veronica Thunander, who is one of our big sports. The channel been following us for a long time now, basically since the beginning of our reaction videos. And Veronica says, I've always wondered if there was a full version of your theme song, and it's even better than I could ever dreamed of. So good. Thank you, Veronica. I appreciate that. Yeah, this was, I wrote this song back, I think around February 2013, and it ended up on my second record, Unfiltered, that hit number 92 on the iTunes singer-songwriter charts. And that record was recorded on a shoestring budget, and I never was quite happy with the finished product, the mix, the overall sound of it. So I've done a couple of different mixes, different masters of it over the years, trying to get to more of my vision. And I finally got, for the 10th anniversary edition, I think a really good sound, what I always had in my head for this song. Thank you so much for the compliment. I'm glad you like that. It was one of my favorites from the record. And it can be interpreted, the song can be interpreted in many different ways, but to me, it's kind of an Old West, young outlaw versus old outlaw type thing, but it can be applied in a lot of different ways. Thanks for checking that out and commenting on there. All right, up next, this is from our home free 9 to 5 Dolly Parton cover reaction. This is from Brenda Sorensen. Brenda, another great fan of the channel. I thought Home Free did a great job reinterpreting this song, as the original was female-centered. That's a great point. That's true. For all of us 9 to 5 workers, still love watching Rob shower fully dressed. Yeah, that was hilarious. It was a great video. A lot of fun. Enjoyed that one. But I didn't think about that yeah, they were swapping it because the original was female-centered. And I've never seen the movie 9 to 5. Let's see, I think it's Dolly Parton. Who else is in there? It's three leading ladies. Dolly Parton, maybe. Is Lily Tomlin in that one? Or I'm thinking of something else. Anyway, I haven't seen that one. Let me know if that's something that I should check out, the 9 to 5 movie. Up next, this is from VoicePlay, Party of Your Lifetime reaction. This is from V Doyne, or maybe VD, is VDOYNE. Thanks for this reaction to VoicePlay. Apparently, the Warframe video game developers contacted VoicePlay quickly after VoicePlay's February 2024 release of Sleeping in the Cold Below. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I don't think I remembered that this was part of the same franchise when I did that reaction, that they had already done one front. It was from the same video game franchise. Also from the Warframe game, and also with Omar about this opportunity. So that's really cool that the game developers contacted VoicePlay to partner with them for this cover. They discussed the sponsorship in the outro of this video. VoicePlay has done several tunes from video games. Usually watch the outros. I don't necessarily remember whether I watched this or not. This was Lane's project / arrangement. In this, they are the in-game 90s boy band. That's what I gathered from the video online, which was the name of the fake name of the group. And Warframe asked them to cover this in-game tune. So great that Warframe allowed VoicePlay to do this their way and film at Patty Cake. This cover and the Warframe 1999 game update both released in December. I'm not a gamer, but love it. I do believe that VoicePlay can cover anything. Yeah, it was a really, really, really smart and good cover. And I think it's great that VoicePlay did that cover of Sleep in the Cold Below from the Warframe franchise. And then that got the attention of the game developers. They were like, hey, well, why don't you do this song from this upcoming game in character as this fake band that's in this in-universe band. I think that was great, even though ultimately the song really wasn't my cup of tea. And I'm also not a gamer. I say that I'm a gamer like Pac-Man, Pong, or even some of the newer stuff like Super Mario Brothers for Nintendo Entertainment System. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'm playing. That's the kind of gaming I play. But yeah, it was a great version. All right, up next, this is from another one of my original tracks, Always Ever Be. This is from Valencia the Queen, another great supporter of the channel. And she says, the perfect toe tapping song. Yeah, I think I already responded. I saw that. I'm pretty sure I already responded to Valencia personally. Thank you, Valencia. I appreciate that immensely. Thanks for checking out the song. Glad you enjoyed it. This is from my Spotify top 10 of 2024 reaction. And this is from B-Dubs, who is another huge fan of the channel. And I keep looking up at the wrong camera here. This is my main live camera, so I apologize. I got the backup going over there. But anyway, B-Dub says, maybe some of these soul-tinged songs will spark a turnaround and get more organic music back into the mainstream. Absolutely. And I already saw that one too. And I think I replied personally to that one too. B-Dubs, that I hope so. I hope that that's what that means. What he's referring to here is on the Spotify reaction, there were a couple of songs, like 3, that had more of a throwback, some soul, some old school rock. And it just kind of blew my mind that these were in the top 10. And it kind of gave me hope for music and also hope for my personal career, because that's the kind of music that I make, more in that range, throwback, old school stuff. So yeah, I'm hoping maybe that it will spark a turnaround. We'll kind of get away from this overproduced, vapid pop stuff that has been dominating the charts for quite some time now. Up next, this is from the VoicePlay Stand By Me reaction, which was one of my favorites from VoicePlay. This is from Karina Rotabach, who is another big viewer of the channel. And Karina says they filmed in this format as they were in a hurry. I think I saw this comment too. Michael, who was the featured artist on this, had a plane to catch, couldn't stay for a full day's filming in the studio, and also to give him the model experience. When they were young students in For the Love and sang a cappella barbershop with Michael on the street corners together, it's rumored this song was on the set list. Doubt if it sounded as good as this version, though. All these wonderful artists have developed their excellency through the years. Yeah, and I forgot. I know we had several comments reminding me that Michael was part of the VoicePlay family. Was back in the high school days with Jeff and Lane. I'd forgotten that, but his vocals are great. That version of the song "Stand By Me," I said in the reaction, that's one of my favorite songs of all time. Has been since, I was like, 5-6 years old. And they did a great job. And it's interesting to know, I'd said in the reaction, I thought that it was intended to be a VoicePlay mini. And they decided, okay, it was so good, they decided to make it not a mini. But apparently that wasn't the case. Apparently they were in a hurry. They wanted to do it. So they just threw up the cell phone and recorded it in vertical format, but with intention to do the whole song. So that's good to know. All right, this is from Home Free, Fishing in the Dark, and Boondocks reaction. This is from Tiger Bright, and Tiger Bright says one of their masterpieces. Austin said this was the most complex arrangement in all their work. Yeah, it was really good, really great mashup. A couple of good songs from the country genre. Right in Home Free's wheelhouse. They took it and just sounded absolutely great. This is from It just says Dylan. I've actually think I've done a couple of Dylan videos. I guess it's going to be from my review of the Dylan movie, Complete Unknown. Yeah, I think so. This is from Alexander Commander, who says, "Nice review, man. I just watched the movie yesterday in a smaller but packed theater, and I definitely enjoyed it. I give the movie overall B+. That's fair. And the acting and performances are in the A range. Yep. Chalamet is fantastic as Dylan. And yes, not in every moment, but those less good moments are rare and last maybe 1 to 3 seconds. On the whole, he does embody Dylan. And he spent 5 years preparing for this role. And it shows, 100%. All the other actors in the ensemble who had even less time to prepare all deliver amazing performances like you. I am a longtime Dylan fan, and I went in knowing quite a bit about that time in his life, and I'd say they did a really good job of bringing it to the big screen. Bravo. Totally agree. Absolutely. Alexander, appreciate that comment too. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Is basically exactly how I felt about the movie. Chalamet was fantastic. Movie was good, not great. Rest of the acting, great. Really did a great job of capturing that period of Dylan's life. And I think this is going to be the last one. Is that 10 already? Good grief. We got to breeze through this. And I've got one from a while back that I wanted to respond to. So I may pull that since this didn't take near as long as I was anticipating. But anyway, this is, I actually saw this one and I responded to this one too. But this is from Giraffe Sweaters, and this is on my Star Trek Voyager reaction. Man, I unexpectedly got a lot of hate on that reaction / reviews. It wasn't a first time watch. Star Trek Voyager turned 30 in January, and I love Star Trek. And when I say Star Trek, I'm talking about nothing really from the last 10 years or so, the last 20 years, really. I did like the Chris Pine movies. I know some Star Trek fans don't like those, but other than that, I like the older Trek, the 90s stuff, and then, of course, the original series and the movies. And I really actually like Voyager, which a lot of Star Trek fans don't. It's been a running gag in fandom that, Voyager is like the worst of the bunch, with the exception maybe Enterprise. But I always dug it. But that being said, I thought that the pilot was not good at all. I say not good at all. I didn't think the pilot was particularly good. So I decided I was going to do a rewatch. It's been like 20 years since I've seen it. For the 30th anniversary, I'm going to do a rewatch of it, edit the reaction, and put it on YouTube. And I said all this ahead of time, like, hey, I'm a fan, but not a huge fan of the pilot. So let me rewatch it. And at the end of it, I was like, that wasn't as bad as I remembered it. Here's the problems I had with it. Here's what I think they did good. And man, there were some Trekkies out there, really Trekkers. I think Trekkie always kind of felt was kind of derogatory, but Trekkers out there that really did not like my commentary on that. And this person, I don't even know what to make of this. This comment says from Giraffe Sweaters, who says, I'm leaving a comment just to let you know I gave this a thumbs down just because I felt like it. You're welcome. And I respond to this person. I can't remember what I said. I was just messing around. It wasn't really a serious response, but it was something about them being warm and fuzzy. Oh, what's the giraffe? I use the technical name of what a giraffe, what type of animal a giraffe is. But anyway, so yeah, this is kind of funny that somebody would do that and then say it, but also it's kind of sad if this person is that serious, like, oh, I feel like leaving this video thumbs down. They might not even dislike it. They just feel like leaving thumbs down, and then they go out of their way to let you know. It's like, I don't know what kind of place you're in mentally there, but you may want to look in the mirror. But at the same time, I also thought it was kind of funny because that kind of stuff doesn't really bother me. But anyway, so I got a little bit of time left here. I'm going to pull a comment that I wanted to get to from last year. I was trying to do a once a month comment answering thing for the podcast. And then that just, toward the end of the year, thing just got overwhelming. And I did not have time to do it. Just never came together. and I really want to respond to this comment on camera. I responded to the person directly just to let them know, like, hey, I see your comment. I want to respond to this a little bit more in depth. Ah, here it is. Yeah, found it. Thought I still had it somewhere. But anyway, so I reviewed the Ronald Reagan biopic that came out last year, Reagan, and starring Dennis Quaid. And you can go watch that review, but essentially, I said, had a couple of great performances. It was competently directed. Almost everything else about the movie was mediocre to bad. 5 out of 10. So not exactly a glowing review of the picture. But I also said in that review that I noticed that critic and audience reviews of the movie were divided along political lines. Like, most critics didn't like the politics of the movie, of Reagan. So most critical reviews are all basically, this movie is terrible because I don't like the politics. Then on the audience side, most people that went to see the movie like the politics of the movie, like the politics of Reagan. And they're all like, man, this is one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. And neither of those opinions have any basis in reality. Like, it's all just subjective. You're feeling about the political aspect of the history, not even really the movie, but of the history. And I said in the review, that aspect is not something I'm looking at when I'm trying to review a piece of art and entertainment. I'm looking at the acting, the directing, the script, which is going to be divided into dialogue and plot. And that's how I reviewed the film. And with that, I gave it a 5 out of 10. Well, apparently, for some people, I didn't, because I didn't hate the movie enough, or because I didn't get into the politics. There was at least one person that was not happy with that. And we had a couple of dislikes on the video too. So it was more than one person. This is the only comment that I saw at the time. There maybe more came in after that. But I'm not going to say the username of this person because I don't want to be accused of cyberbullying or anything. But this commenter says, garbage. The movie, the president, this review. And my reaction to that is like, this is why we can't have nice things. This person, obviously not a fan of Ronald Reagan. Got it. And if you're that much of a Reagan hater, you probably didn't actually go see the movie. So whenever this person's saying the movie was garbage, they probably didn't even see the movie. They're only saying the movie is garbage because they don't like the person that the movie is about. And then that extends to, not only am I going to hate the movie without seeing it, I'm also going to hate this review that I don't think was negative enough about the movie. And that just gets into a larger issue I've seen. And previously, I would see it a lot in just average moviegoers. Like most moviegoers, whenever somebody says, well, that was a great movie, what they really mean is, I really like that movie. Or if they say that movie was terrible, they mean, I really didn't like that movie. There's no real thought or analysis. It's just a gut reaction. And that's subjective, personal opinion, and that's fine. But if you actually want to get into, is a movie great or not, or is, you need to try to take the subjective out as much as possible and try to be as objective as possible. You're never going to be able to be completely objective. You are always going to have some type of your personal feelings, your biases are going to seep through. But if you try to at least make an effort to separate the two, then you'll be able to say, okay, well, this wasn't that great. And sometimes, I know for me, I'll watch a movie that I recognize it's not really that great. Like, maybe the action's not that great. It's not directed that well. Script could use some work, but it appeals to me on a personal level. And I'm perfectly willing to say, yeah, that movie wasn't that good, but I loved it. I'll give you an example. The 2005 Fantastic Four. There was a lot of problems with that movie. I love that movie. Every time I watch it, I'm like, man, this is so good. And I still think it's better than most people think it is. But then again, that might be my biases slipping through, and I recognize that. So this comment here, this is not valid criticism, not valid criticism of art and entertainment. So, and that's what I try to do whenever I'm reviewing music, whenever I'm reviewing movies, whatever it is. I try to take, or at least recognize, the difference between my own personal feelings and tastes about the piece of art and entertainment, and separate that from an objective analysis. Is it good? And you apply this not only to movies, but also to music, the production, the performance, the writing. So that's what I try to do. And I stand by that review. And that's what I'm going to continue to do whenever I review anything, movies, music, you name it. All right, that is going to wrap us up. I really, really enjoyed doing that. It's been a long time, and I used to enjoy doing this whenever I would record it and upload it live. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope this all worked and y'all were able to hear me. And I see now, man, I'm terribly off on this. I thought I was centered on this camera, but I wasn't. I was like over here the entire time. So I gotta fix that next time. There it goes, a lot better. But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed it. And I will try to do this again next week if all goes well. I know I used to do these on Thursday. That's probably what I'm going to try to do, even though today's Friday, but that's because the way my schedule worked this week. And let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this, and we will see you next time. And I hope I'm going to be able to end this and everything worked right. Here we go.